Hey guys, I have a question for you. How many of you like to tell stories? I do. How many of you like to get really in depth with it, whether you're telling a story out loud, writing it down, or just keeping it as a daydream? I do. So I want to show you something fun that we do for school that really enhances storytelling. This is going to be part one of a map building series that we're going to do that will help you with your stories. So today you only need three things. You need a piece of paper. Any paper will do. Something to write with. I have this super cool box of Sharpies that I use for absolutely everything. It doesn't matter how many colors you have. I just happen to like having more than one color. And you need a small handful of pieces of some kind. I happen to have Dungeons and Dragons dice right here. Coincidentally, this lesson I'm about to teach you could correlate really well with Dungeons and Dragons if you play. If you don't have dice, you can use other small things like coins or rocks or little toys or whatever you might have. I would just suggest not marbles because they're going to roll off of the space and you want them to stay in a particular position once you throw them. Okay, so I want to show you guys how to build a map. Let's say your story is taking place on a particular island or country or continent. I'm going to show you how to create that. Can y'all hear my wind chimes? It is windy out there. Okay, so you get your paper and you simply roll your dice or whatever you have on. And if some of them go off, you just toss them on. That is step one. Step two is get a color. I just happen to choose this magenta color. And you trace where they fell. So take a look at how these have fallen, right? And I'm just gonna trace right around them. And you can go close or far. Or if you want, you can kind of, you can cut off and make one into an island on its own. It's really up to you. I'm gonna do that, I think. So I'm gonna have like a main continent here. And then a little island. And then I'm going to put my dice back in this bag so I don't lose them. I don't know if you're all as bad about losing small things as I am, but if you are, take a moment. Put your little pieces back in a bag so you can use them another time. Okay, so I've done that, and this is what I've come up with. I decided instead of making one large continent to make one here and have a small island coming off of it. Or it can be a big island and a smaller island, or a big country with another country off of it. Really, it's all up to your imagination. And that's my favorite thing to do, is give assignments where, yes, there are things that need to be done, but imagination can take a big role in it. So I've got my basic land ready, and here are the things that I need to do. Really, I should have had a cleaner piece of scrap paper here to write on. I guess you do need another piece of paper, because if you write these things on your map, then you're going to take up room where we're going to be drawing in the next few lessons. All right, so grab a piece of scrap paper, push pause if you need to. Sorry, I didn't tell you needed that to begin with. We need to name this island, this country, this continent, whatever. I'm going to say that this is a country and this is a small island off of it. So my country is going to be called, let's call it Azalea Land. And I'm making note of that right here on my scrap paper, or you could actually do it in a notebook, wherever you're happiest taking notes. Okay? And then I'm going to name this other little island here. I'm going to call that Petal Island. So now I have note of what both of those things are. And then I'm going to name the ocean around it. How about the Circadian Sea? So now I have a shape for my country. Yours could have turned out very differently. It could have been a bunch of little islands, like an archipelago. It could have been gigantic and taken up the whole entire page. There could have been a lot of different ways for this to go. And you can certainly add other islands and everything else later on as we go. We're going to be adding a lot of things to this. But today, for part one of this, series, we have got our basic map with 3 names. We have the name, I have 3 names. I have the name of my country, Azalealand, the name of my island, Petal Island, and the name of my sea, Circadian Sea. Now you might only have 2 names. You might only have the name of your land and the name of your water, and that's okay. So you guys keep an eye out. At least once a week, I'm going to make one of these posts, and we are going to build a map together, and then there will be assignments to go along with that map. So be prepared for that next time. Make sure that you put your map, your scrap paper, and your dice or whatever you used all together, and I will see you guys back here next week for part 2.